All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to another episode of Breakfast with Disaster. My name is Dan Bauer, and if this is your first time here, I'll tell you exactly what you're looking at. This is a live stream that we do every Tuesday at 10 a.m., where we tell you about all the worst things that could possibly happen to you so that you know how to avoid them and what to do. And why do we know about that? It's not because we're crazy doomsday prepper people. It's because we work at ServPro here. And at ServPro, we clean those things up. We restore them. We reconstruct them. We do it A to Z. We're very proud of that. And it's been a busy season, busy week and weekend here at ServPro. Let's dig into that. So, there's no way that you don't know that we got a lot of snow. It's all anybody seems like they want to talk about these days. There's a lot of snow accumulating in the past few weeks. It is finally melting. And as you can imagine, that snow melt has kept us pretty busy here at ServPro. When snow melts, it becomes water. We're going back to a very basic science class here. That water needs somewhere to go. Very often, it doesn't just go into the ground and disappear. It backs up into people's houses. It backs into their businesses, and they have a problem with water damage, and they need our help. I've got all sorts of questions in the past couple of weeks about this topic, about that snow. Reasonable ones, like what do I do about ice damming? We talked about that last week. What do I do if my sump pump fails, my basement floods? We talk about that all the time. Definitely a topic we'll talk about in the future, especially the insurance aspect of that and why that's important. But one question I've gotten that is new, it is my new favorite about snow, is can I eat it? Yeah, people want to know if the snow that's melting, coming to their house, or even the snow that's maybe still in their backyard that hasn't melted yet, they want to know if that is toxic or contaminated or not. So I decided to put on my Bill Nye hat and try to answer that for you guys. Here's what I found. So this is a new question, right? I've never got this question before. And I'm going to blame the internet, as I think you can blame a lot of things on the internet. But specifically, there is a TikTok, a viral TikTok. And I'm not on TikTok. I'm not a weird old man on TikTok, but it's popular enough that I see it all over the internet. It's in 900 other places. It's from somebody named Professor Megan. And in this clip, Professor Megan uses a microscope to answer a simple question from one of her viewers, which is, can I eat an icicle? And let's watch that video now. It doesn't want to play. I've got it right here.
Did you eat icicles? Let's set up an experiment.
We're going to compare some icicles,
So
some water from the tap, water from Lake Huron, and some snow. Determine the bacterial load. We'll load each sample onto an agar plate. While they incubate, let's check some samples under the microscope. Here's the tap water, the water from Lake Huron, the melted snow, starting to look a little dirty, and the icicle sample, which clearly has a lot more crap in it. Back to our plates, we have our tap sample, our lake sample, which has about 6 different colonies of bacteria that grew, our snow sample, a lot more colonies, and then our icicle sample. Yeah, that is a lot of colonies of bacteria, but I guess it adds some flavor.
Okay. So, funny video, right? And as you can see, compared to normal tap water, even water straight out of Lake Huron, which I think is kind of funny, snow and icicle water is kind of exponentially more contaminated than what your run-of-the-mill water. It's got more bacteria in it, which is kind of gross. As Professor Megan says, add some flavor. I like this comment from Young Lady Lou, who says, I ate dirt, drank from the hose, ate snow and icicles as a kid. I'll be fine. Hashtag Gen X. I guess I'm right there with you, Young Lady Lou. But it's still striking to see how many colonies of bacteria do show up in that snow and ice. And that's why people are asking me if this stuff is contaminated or not. Obviously, this is just a single video testing a single icicle. Why don't we bring this to ServPro scale? This is called Breakfast with Disaster. Let's up the ante a little bit. If you have snow and ice melting into your house, how contaminated is that stuff? Well, let's start with the basics. I've got an answer for you. And I do have some good news. And actually, let's look at this little snowflake for a second longer. At the outset, snow that's fallen out of the sky, by default, that's more or less safe. Pure as the driven snow, people say. That's not totally inaccurate. Despite what Professor Megan may have you believe. Snowflakes do catch pollutants as they fall. That's natural. You see the snowflake is like an intricate lattice work of nooks and crannies. That's going to catch some soil, some dirt, some soot. Totally normal. And actually, there was a recent study of snowpack at U.S. national parks. They found other stuff. They found 50 years worth of pesticides wrapped up in the snow that just sort of hangs out. Even so, even with all of that being true, the pollutants in regular old snow are well under the level of like safe drinking water. You can go out there, you want to catch some snowflakes on your tongue, you're going to be fine. Just don't eat snow off of your roof or snow that was plowed or otherwise might have other stuff in it. Then you might be in trouble. Now, but that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about this snow. The melted snow that backs up in your house, ends up in your basement, ends up in your walls. That is a different situation altogether. And why is that? Well, the answer is pretty simple. To get into your home or to your business or your structure, whatever you've got built out there, that snow has to pass through all sorts of material. It passes through walls, floors, ceilings. It might back up out of your sump pub. It might pull up in the crawl space under your house. In all of that time, it is picking up teensy-weensy little passengers. All sorts of things that can help it to develop a significant level of contamination. And that depends on how it got there. If that water runs down your roof, let's say, it's probably picking up heavy metals like nickel and cadmium. More likely, it's probably picking up animal waste like bird poop, things like that. All of that sort of mixed in there. Even if it just sort of comes right in through your walls, ceilings, floors, you're still going to have water that's picking up nasty stuff. Anything that's in between those layers of your building, it's going to grab. For instance, and most people seem to think that asbestos is a problem of the past. It's not. Many homes and buildings, even here in Western New York, contain asbestos. And as that water, that snow is running through your walls, ceilings, floors, insulation, what have you, it's picking up asbestos-containing materials along the way. Not the sort of stuff that you would want to drink. And of course, if it's coming up from, say, your sump crock, if it's groundwater, that's also kind of gross. In fact, we hear some horror stories of animals lapping that water up, not really knowing any better. It's full of bacteria. They can develop leptospirosis. They can develop giardia. It's bad news. So if that water, that snow is melting, backing up into your house, you better believe there's probably some level of contamination. It is not the same as going out and making yourself a homemade snow cone in the backyard. Totally different. So obviously, if you do have an issue with that, if you have water backing up into your house, that is a symptom of a larger problem, give us a call. We will help you out. It's a potential health hazard, especially the longer that it sits. You want to get it pumped out if you have large amounts of standing water. You definitely want to get it dried. You want to get it cleaned. You want to get it disinfected. You want that to be taken care of. You want it to be taken care of in the proper way so you don't have extensive secondary damage, lingering effects like mold. Nip that in the bud. Will definitely help you out. And we're available 24/7, and you better believe we have been working 24/7 basically since Thanksgiving to get this taken care of. And I do want to shout out the team here. They have been just working nonstop on residential and commercial issues, just helping everybody to stay afloat, no pun intended. So thank you guys. Let's get to the part about you, the viewers. Let's get to the prize drawing. So if you've never watched the show before, this is very simple. We've got something called the Serve Pro Mug Club. If you're not a member, let me know. Leave a comment. I will make you a member. You get a custom Serve Pro coffee mug with a number on the bottom. I register that number to this here prize wheel. Look at it. Beautiful. And I will draw a number every week. And if you're watching, you will get a double prize. And the only way I know if you're watching is if you leave me a comment and say good morning. You say snow is gross. You say something so that I know you're there. So I will pull up my database of numbers here. Please say hello if you're watching, and we will get this prize spinning. So 1 second here. Imagine the Jeopardy music is playing. All right, here we go. Spinning to win. And Jackie, I know I owe you a prize. I will get that taken care of. But who's winning this week? We've got, of course, this never wants to show me who it is. It cuts off. 326. And that is going to be the illustrious, the great Joe Mezzi at the Messy Agency. So, Joe, if you're watching, leave me a comment. Let me know. Otherwise, I will give you a call, and we will get you hooked up. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next Tuesday talking about whatever happens from now to then. If the last week is any indication, it could be anything. It could be Godzilla. So, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your neighbors, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.